welcome to Marlins Way. Find Lone Depot Park. MLB The Show has interleague action for you this afternoon on the Miami Marlins. Joined by my partner, Chris Singleton. I'm John. Offensive approach in this one, Chris. The wind is blowing in from the outfield pretty steadily.
Yeah, in conditions like more on a line, you get it up in the air, it's just got more of an opportunity to be caught at the warning track instead of getting out of the ballpark. So think, keeping it down, drive it into the gaps, and get your extra base hits in this one.
All right, we'll be back to get this one started after this. Just about ready to roll. And on the hill in this one, number 48. It's singing a special day for him. He's making his major league debut here.
And I'm sure he's got some nerves. He'll be excited for that first pitch to be in and over with so that he can settle in to pitching just like he did in the minor leagues. Exciting moment. He's got his family in town. I think this moment's going to be a huge tone setter for his career.
Ready to go now at the plate. Santiago Espinal. The wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. And we're off and rolling in Miami. And it's 1-1. Just off the inside edge.
Well, he's so great about hitting the ball the other way. He gets those arms extended. So right there, just trying to straighten him up a little bit so he doesn't have as much outside plate coverage.
Righty delivers. Hammer, base hit. And that's going to roll to the wall. Around first and hustling for second. And he's got a leadoff double.
Well, when you fall behind in the count, you've got to come into the zone, and then guys have a better chance of hitting the ball hard like he did right there.
Here's Riley Green. And the first offering is not close. Espinal at second with nobody out. On the ground, right side. Fires over to first. One out in the top of the first. Let's take a check of the Tigers lineup. Batting seventh, someone they're hoping breaks out in this one. Tristan Casas.
Yeah, he's struggling a little bit right now. I mean, he knows it. His team knows it. Everybody in the stands knows it, but they need him to turn it around. I'm told he's putting in some extra work in the cages, as he should be doing. So we'll see if he can break out right here.
Tyler Stevenson now at the plate, leading the American League in hitting entering the day. Ball one there. And the 1-0.
He hasn't wanted to challenge him. Both of those pitches off the plate away. Don't expect anything down the heart of the plate. You may just have to be patient and take your walk here.
Hitters count. That's out to center field. Yastrzemski makes the play. Runner tagging and headed for home. And they strike first as they take a 1-0 lead. And now it's Giancarlo Stanton. Right now the leading RBI man in the American League. He's been huge this season. First pitch doesn't find the zone.
He didn't want to give up that run, but he did. Got the fly ball, sac fly out. Now it's time to attack these other guys. Get your team back in the dugout.
And here it comes. Not close with that one. And now 2-0. There's a swing and a drive. Hits the fence.
That is it. The third baseman.
2 outs, runner at first. Jimmy Cosmo up now for the Tigers. First offering, and it just misses. The pitch. That's in for a strike.
Yeah.
And now 1-2. And now it's 1-2. And a swing and a miss. And that's that. So they pick up a run on 2 hits, no errors, and a man left. On to the bottom of the first. It's the Tigers 1, and the Marlins coming up. Welcome back. And towing the slab, Jared Eichhoff.
Yeah, he battled through 7 innings last time out. He pitched well enough to get the win thanks to that offense. He'll look to turn in another quality start in this one.
And at the plate for Miami, Ketel Marte.
The second baseman.
The line of the pitch. And there's the strike. And the righty deals. And that one wrapped foul. And the right-hander deals. And that one is inside. Fouls it off, still 1-2. And the 1-2 misses to even the count.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Definitely not a partay for Ketel Marte.
He's really good hitting the baseball the other way. So credit the pitcher for having him out in front of that pitch. Clearly he had him fooled.
And up next for Miami, Trace Thompson. Thompson checks his swing. Now an appeal to first. And yes, he did. That's a swing, according to Kenny Jansen. The wind of the pitch. And a foul ball. And he deals. Swings through it for the K. Chase the fastball up the ladder for strike 3.
Well, anytime you can punch out the top 2 guys in a lineup to start an inning, got to be feeling pretty good out there on the mound, because when you think of just having a distraction, table setters on the base paths, and all of a sudden you're dealing with the number 3 hitter, any distraction can cause you to serve up a cookie, and instead of it being a solo shot, it's a 2 or 3 run homer.
of cotton or alfalfa or pistachio trees, and now it is waterfront property.
Looks really sharp at the start of this one. This is how it's going to be today. It's going to be a tough one for this lineup.
Mississippi, but it was dammed and diked and drained.
And now the count 1-2 after the swing and the miss.
And now it's back. It's proof that water never forgets. And this may just be the beginning, because behind those clouds over there, the Sierra Nevadas are so packed with snow, 260% above normal.
Started after it, appeal to third, and he held back according to Rusty Valentine.
Worse and last longer. The last time it flooded this dramatically here was 19.
Got him! Strikes out the side to begin the game. What a start! And 1-2-3 go the Marlins. They trail here 1-0.
Yes, I was on the school board at that time in 1983, and we lost half our school population, about 1/3 of our state population. A lot of the people.
Top of the second. Now it's the shortstop, Jackson Holiday.
In addition to the dripping time bomb of the mountains, Corcoran is many feet lower in elevation after years of over-pumping groundwater to grow thirstier crops.
And a
pitch. It is one of the fastest sinking areas in the nation.
And ball
the ground
one.
has literally sunk in some places by 10 or 15 feet over the past decade. That has literally changed the topography of the historical lake bed. Some places are lower even than they were
batter
the
waits.
last time there was a big flood event. So
and misses inside. Boom.
Iron behind home plate in this one, pretty much by the book with his strike zone.
And because he's so by the book, you'll sometimes see pitchers questioning him. They'll make a good pitch on the edge of the zone, want the strike, and not get the call. But most of the time, Jerry gets it right. He's a good one. That one missed, now 3-0. Chris, do players ever change their approach in meaningful ways based on who's umpiring, or is it good to just be aware of tendencies so you're not that surprised?
I'd say the latter, because the pitcher's got to pitch to his strengths regardless. The hitter's got to hit to his strength. So you're aware of it, but you have to just hunt for what you can handle.
In for a strike, now 3-1. As the game has moved along, we see more and more information supplied by teams about the umpires. I've been in clubhouses where they have pictures of all four guys, nicknames, hometowns, and as well hobbies listed, just so you can kind of small talk the umpire a little bit.
That's great. I don't think you really wanted to pitch to him right there anyhow.
Now batting Tristan Casas. Homered in the ball game yesterday afternoon. First pitch, and it just misses.
Unfortunately, this is the beginning, right? Because the big melt hasn't even really begun.
Yes. This is just from the
Holiday on at first, nobody out.
So Tulare Lake is back.
Yeah, it's that.
Now 1-1.
1-1.
I met young families like that who were talking about movement. I also met senior citizens.
Now move to first. Holiday back in on a dive.
We suddenly have to figure out how to buy flood insurance. That would have been laughable for most of the last few years. But you can maybe see
left-hand hitter waits.
Locally trying to scrape enough
Casas checks his swing, appeal to third. He went around, says Rusty Valentine.
Bill, I have to say, those images from your piece are just jaw-dropping. If I wouldn't know better, I thought they were AI generated or something. I mean, that is the reality that residents there are facing in such a short period of time. And we should note, though, Bill,
runner at first with no outs here.
The Southwest is still facing a massive water crisis. We've just been talking about cities needing water from the Colorado River, and just there's not enough.
That misses the zone, and it's 2-2.
There's not enough to go around with the system we built for the old world. In the new world, scientists like Daniel Flynn would say we have to think about droughts and floods holistically. That this is
right-hander kick steals. Goes down looking.
Well, it's just a great job of playing catch with the catcher. Exactly where the catcher set up is where he threw that pitch. And probably for the umpire a little bit because there was no budge at all.
Drew Jones up now for the Tigers.
But really, this is what weather whiplash looks like in the age of climate change. Tulare Lake is back.
Hit on the ground to the right side. And that squirts through. Holiday ground second on his way to third. And he's got a double.
What is changing in some of the
Went up there looking to be aggressive and got something he could handle. Just a simple ground ball the other way that had eyes on it, man. Sometimes that's all you need to do. Just let the ball travel, put the ball in play, and just hope it finds a hole.
Deadly mass shootings in Nashville and Louisville.
So one out with 2 aboard. Jordan Walker up now for the Tigers.
History in the making beginning today.
The disturbing details. A lot of questions still.
The stories
Inside corner for a strike. 0-1.
At home has decor for every
One down.
room,
Runners
every
at
style,
second and
every
third.
season, and every budget. All for up to 50% less than the other guy's price. It's all right here. All for less. Every day. At home. Decor for all.
That
all
misses
for
the
less.
zone, and it's a ball and a strike.
You know it when you see it. That where have you been? Needed now, made for me piece your home's been missing. And at home is where you know you'll find it the first time, every time.
Just
Up to
missed.
50% less than the other guy's price. Because while a lot of stores have decor for some, we're all about decor for all. Every room, every style, every season. And of course, every
Righty to the
budget.
plate.
It's all right here. All
They tried to
for
get him to
less.
chase on a
Every day.
slider
At
down and
home.
away.
Decor for all for less.
We're cut out behind our backs. This is a shape for things from.
And he walked him.
So here we go again with the walks. It's been a real struggle finding the zone for him in the past. Now, even if they get out of this jam, these walks add pressure and stress to the entire team.
Back to the top of the lineup. Santiago Espinal digs in now. And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
At the dish, looking to lift the ball in the air in this spot. Anything but the inning double play, Boo.
Hosted by Darnell's Super Chef Ferguson. Prepare now. Here's all new Super Chef Grudge Match, Tuesday at 9 on Food Network.
And it's even up.
1-1.
We can all feel connected. We can all ride Can-Am.
One out, base is full.
In this competition, everyone has beer. Each week, it's a kitchen cage match. Hosted by Darnell's Super Chef Ferguson. Prepare now. Here's all new Super Chef Grudge Match, Tuesday at 9 on Food Network.
The best on iHeartRadio is America's #1 hit music station. Great nation.
The 1-2.
Everyone is talking about.
Out towards left center. Yastrzemski has a beat on it. Makes the grab. Runner tags for home. A big run scores on the sac fly. And they take a 2-run lead.
Well, he'll take the sac fly on the mound right there. Bases loaded. I mean, this is a high leverage situation. And if you can limit the other team, you're doing pretty good work. See if you can get this next out.
So first and second with 2 outs. Here's a big power threat. Riley Green.
You know, in free speech, we have nothing. I know you want us to live in this world of rational thinking. Good luck with that.
Misses outside. Ball 1. First and second, 2
We
down.
can't even do close right in this country. It's insane. Let's get America re-in.
Try to get him to chase on the changeup that time.
Every weekday. History in the making beginning today. We're bringing you the news.
The disturbing details.
And that's off the inside edge. 3-0.
Central weekdays at Eastern. For 9 seasons, last week tonight has been.
And that's in for a strike.
Incisive and the smartest show of them all. And now, season 10 will be our biggest.
Down front, pulls that one foul. Now it's 3-2.
The smartest season ever. We think, because we haven't made it yet. Last week tonight with John Oliver.
Tapped softly on the ground. Fires over to Crone. That ends the inning, and they limit the damage. 1 run in the inning, but they leave 2. Now to the bottom of the second. It's the Tigers 2 and the Marlins nothing.
The NRA convention comes just days after a gunman in Louisville killed killed 5 people at a bank.
Back here at the ballpark, here's Tyler O'Neill.
Killed 3 children and 3 adults in a Nashville school. CNN's Kristen Holmes is at the event in Indianapolis. So, Kristen, what can we expect
back
from
to
these
work.
speakers? Who are we going to hear from?
And first offering is fouled off.
Well, Fiona, I want to flag what we just heard because former Vice President Mike Pence is on the stage and he just addressed those 2 shootings. He said that his thoughts and prayers were with the victims and that they
Bounced up the middle. Holiday fires to first on the run and quickly one away in the second.
I love how guys at this level are able to slow the game down, whether it's in the batter's box or on defense. And right there, that was a good job of knowing just how much time he had. We talk about that internal clock. He was able to gather himself, get a good grip, and make an accurate throw across the diamond.
And here is C.J. Cron. Ball 1, no strikes.
These recent shootings, that they would be in the frame of being a mental health issue, not a gun issue. But it is something we're going to be watching very closely. And it goes to show you
Kicks and deals.
of who is coming here today.
In the air, pretty deep out to center field. Makes a nice grab and a full sprint. Out number 2.
This lineup's going to have to find a way to make him work a little harder out there on the mound. I mean, he is just mowing him down. He's settling in. You got to make him uncomfortable. Maybe step out of the box, call timeout, do whatever it takes.
How exactly they walk that line? Do they address this?
Jazz Chisholm Jr. in the box here. Lets that one go for a ball.
And do they have any sort of suggestion of how this
next one misses, and that's ball 2. The line to kick the pitch.
Not a gun issue, which of course,
and another ball.
Given where we are today. It's what we're used to doing. We'll be interested to see if there are any actual solution. The family of Louisville Bay shooter Connor Sturgeon says CTE. A friend of the family
right side, and it goes just foul.
Significant concussions while playing sports in high school. They say his condition was so serious, in fact, that he had to wear a helmet to protect his head while playing basketball.
And there's ball 4.
Well, 2-out walks are never good, especially when you're trying to get back into that dugout. But he's still in a good spot. He's just got to refocus and deal with the bottom of this order.
And now for the Marlins, Jesus Sanchez. Over to first, and he's safe.
What would we expect to find here? What do you know about this?
Going on.
Sort of behavior is a very challenging thing to do, as you might imagine. CTE itself is something, I've been working here 21 years. When I first started, CTE wasn't something people really knew much about. We've learned a lot since then. It stands for chronic traumatic encephalopathy, and it's kind
2
of
outs.
Alzheimer's-like syndrome.
And that one is lifted in the air.
Blows to the head.
And that should be extra bases. Jazz on his horse coming around third. He scores, and they trail by 1.
Picks himself up an RBI. Got a good pitch to drive. Stayed short with his bat path to the ball and caught it out front. And he stayed long in his follow-through. That's how you split the gap, and that's pretty much a double every time.
Possibly have behavioral outbursts, severe depression.
And in scoring position with 2 away. Mike Yastrzemski up here. 2 hits and 4 at-bats during yesterday's ball game. Out to short. Gets it to first. Inning ends, and that stops the bleeding. Marlins get a run on the RBI double. And the home team down a run. You're watching Major League Baseball exclusively on the show.
So just to pick up on that point, is there any evidence, perhaps not conclusive at this point, that links CTE
Top half
to
of the
active
third inning.
body?
Here's the catcher, Tyler Stevenson.
There is.
Stevenson measures 6 feet 4 inches, 28 years old, and he's a former Silver Slugger recipient in the National League. That's in there.
Well, these Tigers showing great discipline at the plate, and patience definitely seems to be the name of their game in this one. They're doing a good job of working the pitch count, and they've been able to push a couple of runs across to score as well.
Hauls it in, 1 away.
People may also remember people like Aaron Hernandez, for example, and Philip
Here's
Adams.
Stanton now, and he's already singled in this game.
Who were diagnosed with CTE at the time of their death. Philip Adams had severe stage 2 CTE, and Hernandez had stage 3. And you'll remember, These are people who were charged with murder.
They say it went. Stanton, a former All-Star, batting in the cleanup spot. He's usually in right field, but today he's getting the DH treatment.
And I just want to be clear, no one is saying, I think, that even if
that's in for a strike on the outside corner, and it's 0-2.
Been diagnosed or worried about developing a diagnosis of this. There's nothing to suggest that they will necessarily have violent behavior like this. But is it a possibility? Yes.
One down, base is empty.
Increasingly as possible legally.
And there's a ball.
Well, a nice day off for him, not having to jog out to the outfield, gets to be in the DH spot. Be curious to see how he keeps himself in a rhythm, not playing defense.
The next pitch misses. The count now 2-2.
Well, new problems for Boeing. This time, a manufacturing issue with the 737 MAX. How Boeing is responding to questions over safety concerns. That's ahead.
From exclusive
smash to the left side.
To one-of-a-kind design.
2 up, 2 down.
You'll find it all here. At home, the first time, every time. Every room, every style, every season, and every budget. Every day. At home.
Jimmy Cosmo getting ready to hit. His first at-bat was a strikeout.
This is shape for things pro. We partner on with Sandy and Stewie and Pierce.
Excited to get into this knife fight?
I love you, but you are not seriously.
And a good fastball to start him off. That's strike one.
Let's blow it up.
I want to hear the opposition. Cut that throat. We are Pirates!
And that's through there for a strike. Chris, Dave Roberts had a good big league career. He was a really good defender and a guy who could steal a base when you needed him to. And the Red Sox really needed him to in Game 4 of the 2004 ALCS when he swiped second and came home to score, and that kept the Red Sox alive.
Yeah, this is a guy that was a little bit of a late bloomer in his career, but ended up having an excellent career, and just the type of player teammate he was. Easy to understand how he flowed nicely into the skipper's chair and doing a great job in that position.
Swings and misses, struck him out. Tigers are shut down there as they're unable to add to their 2-1 lead. Set for the bottom of the third. Here's some real power at the plate. Nick Fortes. Obviously a guy who makes good contact, hits for average, but one of the things in today's game, the value in the fact that he hits both righties and lefties. Throws to first. A great play deep in the hole.
The batter, 6, second baseman,
Ketel Marte up to the plate. Marte, in his 10th season, a member of the 1,000 hit club, and he was born in the Dominican Republic.
The smartest show of them all. And now,
That pitch in for a strike. Strike one.
Where do you even begin with the talent we've seen from the Dominican Republic? Vladi, Big Papi, Pedro, the list goes on and on.
And a ground ball to first. He takes it on his own. And a couple of quick outs.
now batting, right fielder, Trace Thompson.
And now the right fielder, Trace Thompson.
Struck out on just 3 pitches last time.
There's a strike.
podcasts every weekday.
History in the making, beginning today.
We're bringing you the news.
The disturbing new details.
In a free way.
A lot of questions still.
The stories at the center of our day.
Swings through that.
This guy's not wasting any pitches. Hitters got to get into swing mode. This is a good time to expand the zone. Throw something maybe down in the dirt.
Comfort mattresses at Gardner White. Save up to $500 on closeouts. In stock with free same-day delivery. Plus, save more with 0% financing up to 60 months.
And that one hammered way back there. And that one is out of here. He'll circle the bases, and we are starting over. It's 2-2. Chris, he's homered in back-to-back games now.
Yep, seeing the ball well, and he's got his timing locked in. He's looking pretty dangerous at the dish right now.
A home touch that changed my life forever.
I was worried about how I would take care of my family and see myself.
Look, I feel like we're seeing more of this these days than we ever have before. You've got high velocities on the mound. You've got stronger hitters with really good pass to the baseball. So much power in this sport. Opposite field home run. I tell you what, I feel like I see at least one every day, and that was an incredible job to keep that ball fair.
Zepeda stands in now and watches strike one. Struck out swinging his first time.
Every day, refugees and migrants fleeing war and persecution and climate change embark on...
Misses outside, 1-1.
One of the most treacherous paths that they go through is the Darien Gap, a wild, lawless jungle between Colombia and Panama. CNN's Nick Payton Walsh and his team traveled there, hiking for 5 days alongside migrants,
2 down, nobody on.
Risking their lives to reach the United States.
There's a line drive to left field. Could be extra bases. Now he'll turn for second. And he's in there standing up with a 2-out double.
Everything came together for him. Put a really nice balanced swing on it. And when you can rope one into the gap like that, you're thinking extra bases from the first couple of steps out of the box. And he'll feel real good about that one.
And at second here with 2 away. And here is Tyler O'Neill. Grounded out his first time. Pitch misses inside, and that's ball 1.
The strategy of winning a ball game, when you could make that pitcher work a little more, expose himself by throwing pitches, that could be the key to winning perhaps later on. So good job of extending this inning, getting a knock with 2 outs to bring the number 4 hole hitter up.
Darien Gap is the only land corridor from South America where entry is easier to its north, where it's not. There are no roads, only 66 miles of treacherous jungle from Colombia to Panama and onwards north, 3,000 miles to the US border. We walked the entire route of the Darien Gap over 5 days in February to document the suffering endured by people, milked for cash by cartels, unwanted by any country. What's startling is the sheer number
Next
of
pitch just misses. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
On a route, sometimes adults don't even survive.
And Nick Payton Walsh joins us now.
To third, Cosmo.
It's so important. The report is part of
Throw off line, he's safe. And a nice job there to keep it from getting away.
Well, I definitely think the speed down the line played a factor on that throw. He had more time than he thought, but as a fielder, the speed of the game and the speed of the runner sometimes can get in your head. He just rushed it and failed to make a clean throw.
And at the plate for Miami, C.J. Cron. Outfield playing very deep, not wanting anything over their heads. Misses inside, and that is ball 1.
This particular trek in the first quarter of this year, as did in the first quarter of last year. And last year
tied up here in the early going. Kickoff move to first. O'Neill gets back easily.
It's important because so many of them are children. Their ultimate destination is the U.S.-Mexican border and all the issues that potentially brings for migration into the United States.
And that's in for a strike.
Also, too, their volume causes them problems themselves. They often end up in traffic jams, frankly. We ourselves found ourselves caught in hundreds of migrants waiting to get through a particular choke point. The number of them is slower, means that it's greater risk.
That one missed.
Good spot for the hitter. Definitely has the advantage in this count with runners on. Look for him to be aggressive on this next pitch.
The rolling problem is one more cartel on the Colombian-Panamanian border are clearly making a lot of money off. They control the Colombian side of the route. And when you cross into Panama, there you're very much on the road.
Upstairs. Chris with that distraction and a speedy guy at first. He's in a favorable hitter's count.
Well, if nothing else, I mean, this is a great spot for a hitter to be in.
All over the world and Ukraine now. I'm just curious, and based on your reporting here, what stood out to you the most? What surprised you the most?
In the air right field. Green settles under it. And that will end the inning. 1 scores in the inning coming on this solo home run. 2-2 game. You're dialed into the show.
Generosity of human spirit.
that you see on something like this. Yes, it's dangerous. Yes, some people do not make it, and we saw their bodies on some of the older routes there. But what you're again reminded of is the capacity
as we go to the top of the
love
fourth.
care
And now,
for utter
Jackson
strangers,
Holiday.
to not leave people behind. Be it a man in his 30s who sprained his ankle, fellow Venezuelans made a stretch for him. Be it a 12-year-old girl who's disabled, who
the right-hander back to work.
And also from Venezuela, carries her for days.
That's a little bit high.
Completely underestimates the dangers of the trek. And be it the love we saw for a sick kid from Venezuela, Louvain, whose father was trying to carry him despite the enormous respiratory difficulties we're having. Strangers were trying to help them out. Everybody was looking out for each other, and it's that remarkable generosity, as I mentioned.
On the ground is short.
What an extraordinary gift these people
fires across the diamond, and one gone to the fourth as they get the leadoff man.
Well, he's doing a nice job of keeping the ball out of the air, lets the defense work behind him with another ground ball. Good execution.
Tristan Casas up now for the Tigers. Caught looking his first time up.
Something anybody, frankly, should be doing at all, but it's a reflection of how desperate and how awfully contested
there's a strike.
He's pitching well, but not throwing a ton of first pitch strikes. Usually doesn't work out for success, but you can never predict baseball.
And a breaking ball drops in for a strike.
Love how vocal the umpire is today. No doubt. In the hitter's mind, catcher's mind, and even the pitcher's mind as to the conviction in the call.
0-2 now. Gets a piece there. We'll do it again.
We're so different. I'm a homebody. He's a thrill seeker, an adventurer. I can't even relate to him sometimes in the life.
0-2 now.
As a reporter.
Bounce that off to the left, and we'll do it again.
America reports on Russia, sometimes in a way that makes it seem like a pretty terrifying, cold place.
And the
pitch. Really passionate about showing other sides.
0-2 count, you got the opportunity to expand the zone. Could get the chase there. Let's see what he comes back with next.
Gershkovich is being held in Moscow now on charges of espionage. Both the Wall Street Journal and the U.S. government deny those charges and are calling for his immediate release.
That's down and in.
Well, he might have to look for a different put-away pitch right here, 2-2. He's already seen the curveball a couple of times in this at-bat, so might have it timed up and ready for it.
Here's a 2-2. He goes down looking. So 2 down now, and here is Drew Jones. Doubled his first time up.
Every day, at home, decor for all for less. What's it like to hear from the people actually living the headlines? I'm Audie Corner.
That one's in there, 0-1.
The guy's going this good. He's retired 7 in a row. You got to step out of the box, fake bunt, do something to break it up.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
And now the count is even. Good eye right there.
Looks like he's being a little cautious with him in this at-bat after doubling the first time up. Doesn't want to make another mistake.
Two balls and a strike. Here it comes. Slice down the right side.
I'm Eva Longoria. I'm exploring Mexico to see how the people shaped a culinary tradition as diverse as its 30.
Here comes a pitch.
Hello.
Eva Longoria, searching for Mexico.
Recognize that changeup right out of the hand. Just spit on it.
3-2. Payoff pitch. And that's ball 4.
Boog, if I were him, I'd be nibbling around the plate as well. I mean, this guy's just capable of hitting pitches outside of the zone and driving them a long way.
Jordan Walker will hit next. Worked a walk in his first trip to the plate. Ball 1 low. Signs of activity in the pen for the Marlins. Braxton Garrett getting loose out there. Pitch misses. 2 balls, no strikes. And the righty deals. Check swing, but he went too far. 2 balls and a strike. Jones off of first with 2 away. Pickoff throw. Jones back on a dive. The 2-1. And delivers outside. Santiago Espinal, the kind of bat that can make a big impact if they can keep it going here.
Three-two, 2 out, runner on first. A lot of movement in the infield. Hitter's got to stay focused on the pitch.
3-2 now. So now 2 on and 2 outs.
Well, he's been in a very giving mood today.
So up next, Santiago Espinal. He has, as they like to say, light tower power. Not a big guy, but a big swing and thunder in that bat. And that one pulled foul. Two outs, couple of base runners at first and second. And a foul ball.
Now all on sale. Work with our designers to get your custom. Don't forget, we have the best customer service in the business.
Caught him looking for the K.
Sometimes he wears the emotion on the sleeve, but that's okay as long as he's getting results. And right there, thrilled with the punch out to get out of a jam.
Top of the hour here in the Gin and Newsroom. And I'm Bianca with
back here in Lone Depot Park. John Shelby and Chris Singleton with you. And leading off the bottom of the 4th, Jazz Chisholm Jr.
That is just one of the stunning details we're learning about the suspect arrested in the flagrant Pentagon League investigation. 21-year-old Jack Teixeira was charged with 2 federal crimes today. He is not under a plea, but he will remain in custody until his detention hearing next week.
Just missed. You know, it's no surprise that Jazz Chisholm Jr. is good at baseball. His grandmother, Patricia Copley, actually played shortstop for the Bahamian national softball team. And get this, she didn't retire until her 60th birthday. She started to play soft toss with Jazz when he was only 2 years old.
With the way defenders track down balls these days, I mean, both from the infield and in the outfield, there really aren't a lot of base hits on balls hit like that. But there's always a little room back behind the first and second baseman to drop a lawn dart in there, and he found a way. And now, let's see if they force some action with good wheels on the bases.
Sanchez up to bat next, lays off for a ball. He doubled home a run on his first AB. Nobody out, runner at first.
Your basic holding charges. This is unauthorized use of the government computer, you know, improper handling of classified documents.
And a
but
foul
the investigation, which is literally today, only 6 days old, which is lightning speed in the classified leak investigation, have to go further, which is, okay, this is what we know and we think.
The 1-1.
He had his friends in his game.
Foul ball there.
These documents in there.
With 2 strikes, may see some movement over there at first base, trying to stay out of a double play here.
Espionage charge. You don't have it when he was working so far in government.
The pitch.
You don't have what, you know, he was leaking it to
next offering popped in the air, right field. And there's one away. Oh, the throw is wild.
It's a complaint by an FBI agent. We're going to see an indictment, and then you could see a superseding indictment, depending on where the investigation goes. At minimum.
Here comes Mike Yastrzemski to the plate. He's over for 1.
Definitely wants to stay out of the double play here. Ball on the ground in the infield. Should be an inning-ending double play.
There could be more charges. He could be facing serious time. Right now,
and that's in there for strike 1.
Not what he's looking for there in the 0-0 count. Looks like he wants the ball down in the zone.
Or just, you know, if his lawyers tell him not saying anything and, you know, we're going to fight this, these are the choices that are in their court now.
what more potentially investigators could find as they're doing their searches. Natasha, can you tell us more
Next pitch
about
inside, and now it's even 1-1.
High top-level security clearance and when he had access to that? Yeah, Deanna, so what we're learning is that he
At the belt
was
fires.
given this top-secret
And a count 1-2.
a couple years after he joined the Air National Guard. And he was given this clearance because of his role as a, read it here, cyber transport systems journeyman. And that is a very
Kicks
long
and
title
fires.
for someone who is essentially
Battling here as he fouls it away.
an IT person for the intelligence wing of the Air National Guard. He essentially made sure that all of these communication systems and the networks were up and running properly so that, for example, intelligence analysts could properly access the intelligence that they needed to do in order to do their day-to-day
Gets
job.
a piece, and stays alive.
He was given this clearance just in case he was actually exposed to any of the content of these documents. Because again, he was not necessarily engaging with the content on a day-to-day basis as part of his regular job.
Waves at the bender for the strikeout.
So now
I mean, there aren't many curveballs in the sport today that flip like that thing does. Huge movement. It's so difficult to get on the same plane and even think about squaring it up, let alone get a piece and hope he throws something else to keep the at-bat alive.
Nick Fortes now at the plate. He's 0 for 1. Throw over to first.
Photographs of them in his residence before posting them online. And so the question now becomes, what protocols were in place at this facility to kind of track this kind of thing? Why did no one notice that he was doing this? Because remember, he was also
way outside, and it's 1-0.
Before he ultimately switched over to actually taking the physical documents out of the facility. So a lot of questions going to be raised here about why he was able to have access to this intelligence at such a low rate, of course, as part of his day-to-day job. But
and that one clips the corner.
Get this stuff out of these areas. Really important questions. Natasha Burton and John Miller, thank you both. Also with us, CNN national security analyst Julia
and
Kines,
here
former
comes
Homeland Security official.
and
Julia,
that's down and away.
I should also point out that in the time of Homeland Security in the state of Massachusetts, you oversaw the Air National Guard there. As we look at all of this, and
Chisholm leads off first with 2 down to the inning.
The puzzle together. I think that Natasha brought up a really interesting point about oversight. So we know that he had access because he had this job where he worked in IT. He was responsible for basically keeping those systems running. The fact that there didn't seem to be any sort of checks and balances in place, no oversight, based on what we know now, in terms of who may have
next one off the plate inside. Full count now. Cattell Marte would be next. Big bat with a potentially huge opportunity.
Would someone in this position have a manager who is checking to see when they're accessing?
Here comes a 3-2. Knocks that one away, and we'll do it again.
There are systems in place to determine how long someone's in a stiff. How did he get a phone in the stiff? I mean, in other words, I'm assuming he's taking pictures off of his phone. Questions about what time
the pitch.
To take the pictures of them.
Swing and a miss. Couldn't catch up to the heater. One left for Miami. Score remains deadlocked at 2-2.
And this is where my brain is right now. What I mean by that is he enters the state national.
So the Marlins go with a new arm, Braxton Garrett.
And as relievers go, he's not a big strikeout guy. He tries to force weak contact, so command and execution are huge for him.
Riley Green digs in now. Gotta be careful with this guy. He's got power. He can untie it with one swing. The big lefty turns, kicks, deals. A swing and a miss, and that's strike one.
Well, these Tigers finding ways to get on base, but they still need help driving them home. They've had their chances with runners in scoring position, but nobody's been able to deliver a big hit in those situations.
Top secret security clearance, that tells me nothing. He could be either state national guard
the lefty with the 0-1.
I believe this is the next shoe to drop.
And that one missing low.
And you got to give some credit to the other side as well. They've been able to get out of a few tough jams, but frustration is mounting for this offense, no doubt.
Back there, and it's gone. He made him pay for that one. Just like that, they move in front. It's 3-2.
And they should have had better oversight. In either case, let's just say it's not good.
you explain how the process works when somebody has top secret national security clearance? Because it seemed yesterday from that Pentagon briefing that they were really focusing on the fact that he signed
For a pitcher, the odds are in your favor if you keep that breaking ball down. That time, he got punished for it. Hitter just did a really good job of staying within himself and getting the barrel to the baseball.
Tyler Stevenson up now for the Tigers.
Somebody who had a copy of the key then decided to break back into that
on the ground to
Jazz. Is it as simple as that? Is this sort of like an
tosses to first, one away. That ground ball may have him back on track after the homer.
In some ways, because you would hope, but that honor system is based on verified.
And here is Giancarlo Stanton.
Right? Verification of not just the clearance itself. It's continuing review throughout the process. Did they travel abroad? Are they all of a sudden...
Next offering is down low. Ball one.
Paid by a foreign entity. Are they going through something traumatic in their own life in which then the supervisor might actually...
Next offering is fouled back.
Because people, go through traumas, and you don't want them necessarily to have access to this information. So
ball
the
on a
idea
strike.
that it's like one and done, right? You get
swings through that one for strike two.
Please behave. It's not actually how it works. There's continuing processes of review, of access to information. This was a lot of paperwork.
Swing and a ground ball out to short.
It takes a lot of time.
Jazz tosses to first, and they take care of Stanton for the out.
And I do think for us, the particular issue is going to
and up next for Detroit, Jimmy Cosmo,
who's
0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts.
That will then go to different problems. One is, of course, why does a state national guard member have this information?
In there for strike one.
Did not catch it. And I think, as I said, in both instances, it's his fault, no question about it. But we...
Now a high fly ball out to left center.
We, the United States, has to learn lessons from
and that'll do it. Solo shot for Detroit this inning. It's now a 3-2 ball game. Major League Baseball is on the show.
Access more carefully than obviously this situation exposes.
And welcome back. Here's Ketel Marte.
The second baseman.
The Justice Department is officially asking the Supreme Court to intervene
back to work.
in the battle over a widely used abortion.
Gets the call. That's strike one.
That means it just got more difficult for anyone who abortion in Florida. Governor Ron DeSantis signed a 6-week abortion.
Swing and a miss.
Man, he was really tardy on that fastball. Great job of setting him up by throwing the curveball. Add some velocity to it on the next pitch. Can't catch up.
And 1-2.
Now make the repeat your home's greatest. And at home is where you know you'll find it your first time, every time. For up to 50%
got it by him for the K.
Thought it was a pretty good pitch. Top of the strike zone. We're seeing more fastballs in that location. Hitters, especially with 2 strikes, have to be ready to pull the trigger.
Every day. At home. Decor for all for less. What's it like to hear from them?
And up next for Miami, Trace Thompson.
Talks to the people behind the trending stories.
On the ground, and that's just foul.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
You know what brings people to Mexico? The food culture.
Well, I don't know if I've ever been this excited to eat anything.
Here comes the 0-1. And there's a curve through for a strike.
The best songs from iHeartRadio is America's #1 hit music station. Great Nation. The biggest hits that everyone is talking about.
Next offering is outside.
Always entertaining for free. Hit Nation.
The wind and the pitch.
Download the app today.
Ripped to short. Whips it to Casas. And that quickly 2 away. And now Alberto Zepeda. When you talk about elite defensive third baseman, this guy's at the top of the list. In there, and it's 0-1.
This guy plays third base like he's a shortstop, and he welcomes the difficult play. Can throw from so many different angles and makes really tough plays look very easy.
Swing and a high fly ball, pretty well struck right field. That's back. That one is gone. His 19th home run of the year, and we're level. It's 3-3.
When you're lacking velocity, it's so critical that you move the ball around, change speeds, even try to trick because the velocity is not there to overcome and get the swing and miss.
Now it's going to be Tyler O'Neill. And he deals. And now it's even up. And another ball. Two-one pitch is in there, and the count is even. And that's outside. In the air, left field. Walker gets under it, and the inning is over. Miami draws even on the solo shot. We're tied now with 3 apiece. It's Major League Baseball on the show.
The Justice Department and the manufacturer of the drug have asked the justices to intervene. CNN's Jessica Schneider joining us now.
Welcome back, top 6.
So
and the batter now, Jackson Holiday.
Yet again,
well, on paper, it's favorable to have a fairly quick inning here with 2 of the 3 hitters he's set to face batting from the left side, same side he throws from.
Action in the pen down there. Yimi Garcia, the hard-throwing righty, is up and loosening. Holiday, just 21 years old, and he's been on a good run at the plate, hitting over 300 in his last 10 games. Next offering misses, and that's ball 2.
Pretty easy to give up on that pitch right there. Started on the edge of the plate with the spin. You know it's going to finish well off the plate.
2-0. Swing and a grounder foul, first base side.
At about 1 a.m. Saturday morning, so just mere hours from now, a Fifth Circuit ruling, it would take effect.
2-1 now.
Says that women beyond 7 weeks pregnant.
That one ripped, but foul.
But up until now, they've been able to get it up to 10 weeks pregnant. And also, telehealth and prescription by mail options would just be eliminated.
2-2 down.
So women, for the past few years, they've been able to get this prescribed online by their doctor.
Oh, that hit him.
That, however, would end
safe at first, and now after the play, we'll check on the lefty's status.
Now, DOJ has laid this all out in their filing to the Supreme Court, and they're arguing right off the bat several things. They're saying, look, this drug has been approved for more than 20 years, since the year 2000. It's survived 5 presidential administrations because of the scientific backing for this. And the World Health Organization has this drug listed on its list of essential medicines. So the DOJ is doing all they can to put all of their arguments before the Supreme Court. It is now in the hands of the Supreme Court. And Eric and Diana, we're expecting that potentially the Supreme Court might rule by the end of the business day.
New pitcher for the Marlins, Yimi Garcia. He pitched yesterday, and we'll see him once again.
So we'll see if the talk is really here in a lot of us. Guys, be a busy next 2 hours for you. Jessica Schneider, thank you so much for the question.
And next up for the Tigers, Tristan Casas. His home and away splits there.
When many women still don't even realize they're pregnant. Republican Governor Ron DeSantis signing that bill late last night in his office, saying it's time for we're proud to support life and family in the state. The White House issued its own statement calling the ban.
Ground ball right side, down the line, and it's foul.
Florida and all the United States. Joining us now to discuss is Florida State Representative Robin Bartleman, a Democrat from Broward County. State Representative, thank you so much for joining us. So we should just explain to
Next
our
offering
viewers
is in for a strike.
Well, we call that keyhole. Even though it's right there and looks pretty good, if he doesn't love it, he's not going to swing that early in the count.
In the air to left center. Reaching for it, makes the catch.
Now, that's a tough play for the infielder, ranging back into the outfield. There's part of him that's saying, hey, where you at, outfielder? Call me off. But he stayed focused and made a nice catch right there.
Look, he is a very divisive topic. And never did I ever think I would.
So digging in, Drew Jones. Maybe expecting a bunt here. Third baseman playing in on the edge of the grass.
It is very nice.
That's off the mark. 1-0.
I had a very much needed pregnancy. A pregnancy that, I was interested in pregnancy. And at a point in my pregnancy, I found out that I had a fetal abnormality. And
Garcia throw over, and he dives back in safely.
Serious issues. So the doctor said,
Holiday over at first with one away.
So my husband and I went home, and we talked about it. And I was a special ed teacher, so
pitch misses outside. Ball 2.
And we talked, and it is truly agonizing decision. And I knew in my heart.
And that one off the outside edge. Jordan Walker in the on-deck circle.
Should you? And so after weeks of contemplation, praying to my God, speaking to my clergy, I made a decision to.
Let's see if he gives him anything to hit here. And a 4-pitch walk.
4 pitches. That's an easy walk, man. He could have walked me right there, dude. The last one wasn't even close.
Go ahead, run on base. And next to hit for Detroit, Jordan Walker.
Well, there's a reason why he's at the bottom of the order. Struggling as of late, but a knock here would be a huge lift for him and for his team.
Off the mark there. And that's ball 1.
He's looking for a ground ball to get a double play and out of this jam.
When we discussed this, the only people in the room were my doctor, my husband, and my God. The Florida legislature and Governor Ron DeSantis
a big swing and a miss.
It might be time to choke up a little bit, get that front foot down early, maybe even just spread out. He's really late right now.
Inserted themselves into that room, inserted themselves into the decision-making process, which will impact every family.
So a foul ball makes it 1-2.
Amendments during debate. Every single one failed. I was struck by one of your proposals, and I understand that you worked on this proposal with several doctors, listing specific medical conditions that would allow doctors to
righty
sign
delivers
on the force of the
on the ground, 2 ball. Crone over to second, on to first, but it pulls him off the bag.
Well, he had the chance of turning 2 right there, but I don't think he got a good grip on the balls. He tried to transfer from glove to throwing hand. They say you can't assume a double play. I beg to differ at the big league level, but it's going to be ruled as a fielder's choice.
Right now, without this bill even being into effect, where doctors are gratefully
next to hit, Santiago Espinal.
Went down looking on 3 pitches last time. Let's see if he can be a little more aggressive right here.
First pitch, and that's in for a strike.
She went to the hospital. She asked for help. They told her to go home and leave. She delivered the fetus in a stroller. She hemorrhaged so much that she lost half the blood.
And the right-hander deals.
She had.
And that one is lifted in the air. Thompson under it, brings it in. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. So they strand a pair. We go to the bottom half of inning number 6. And the 5, 6, 7 slots do up. All tied up at 3 apiece.
She could not find 2 doctors to sign off to terminate that pregnancy.
Back here at the ballpark. And now the first baseman, C.J. Crone.
Very peaceful. And deliver her dead baby. Now, when we talk to the bill sponsors,
the line of the pitch.
Covered in the language. And I am saying it's not.
And a curve is down and in.
You can expect this hitter to be looking for something on a tee. He can get up in the air and untie this ball game.
And so my language actually said, doctors, look, you know,
next pitch misses. 2 balls, no strikes to count. Tigers bullpen with some action. Jose Cisnero, the veteran right-hander, appears to be loosening up. Maton getting cranked up as well.
I mean, it's crazy. So you have doctors who are playing lawyers, and then you have lawyers.
There's a strike.
He's been able to go inside as well as outside, effectively working both sides of the plate in this at bat.
Women are going to die.
Next pitch misses inside. Now 3-1.
There's going to be more Anyas and Corbaras and Annabelles and Sineads in this world. That could have happened to me.
And there's the strike. Good plate appearance there. Able to take the walk.
Just missed his spot on the inside right there.
And here comes the Tigers manager to the mound. Pitching change coming. Jared Eichel departs, and not his finest start. Never really looked comfortable out there. We'll have a new pitcher on the mound when we get back. The pitcher on here, Jay Spry.
And they felt it was time to bring on a left-handed reliever from the pen with the lefty hitter coming up. I think it's a good move. I know I never liked when opposing teams did that to me.
Jazz Chisholm Jr. now. Chisholm goes 5 feet 11 inches, 185 pounds, and he's a former National League Gold Glover.
I'm Eva Longoria. I'm exploring Mexico this year.
And a strike on the outside edge.
As diverse as its 32 states. Hello.
Eva Longoria, searching for Mexico. Sundays at 9 on CNN.
The next offering misses. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, he's really working him away this at bat. Sometimes take a little bit off velocity. Try to get a rollover, something on the ground. Stay away from that big hole on the right side of the infield.
And now the lefty. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
Gonna really need to hang in there with that front side against this left-handed breaking ball.
Right now, save $50 on the FSA.
Got him swinging.
Definitely made him chase a little bit out of the zone right there. I don't think that's a strike if he takes it. Pretty textbook pitching. Get ahead in the count, get the guy in the box on his heels, and then force him to chase your pitch where he doesn't have much of a chance to do any damage.
Jesus Sanchez, the next to hit. First offering misses the mark. Crone, the base runner at first with 1 out.
We were using ClickUp. We were on a tool that was very inflexible. It wasn't allowing us to get...
Swing and a pop-up in foul ground. Cosmo makes the play, 2 away.
Increase in productivity across the board, specifically our executive team. About 70% our first year using the tool.
And now the center fielder, Mike Yastrzemski.
You know, this is kind of a tough matchup as a left-handed hitter facing a left-handed pitcher. What you tell yourself is I want to stay square to the plate, try to hit the ball over the shortstop's head.
And takes low for ball 1. Fry, 31 years old, and he was a 3rd-round pick back in 2014.
Ships fully assembled and ready to ride.
The next pitch misses, 2-0.
Shop the Ready Set Spring Sale now. You get a free bike lock, phone mount, and premium headlight while supplies last.
Now this is in the air down the line. And that lands in no man's land, a foul ball.
Pretty good pitch there and take a rip at it. He wants to get his arms extended. He likes the ball away from him a little bit, just not able to square it up.
2-1 now. That one ripped left field. That's back there. Gives up the body and makes the catch. No runs on no hits, no errors, and a runner left. We're through 6 full. All tied up at 3 apiece. Jimmy Herget on the pitch out of the pen here.
Well, he's been a really tough guy to take deep this season. You usually have to string some hits together in order to get to him.
Number 46.
So digging in, Riley Green.
Taken high in the draft, he's had that top prospect labeled over him since he put on a professional uniform. But at some point, that starts to go away, and you've got to produce at the big league level.
That's in for a strike.
Well, he had a pretty good look at that pitch, and not sure exactly what tied him up there. Couldn't pull the trigger. And perhaps the best pitch he'll see in this at-bat to hit.
Sanchez makes the play. One away.
Now back.
Tyler Stevenson up now for the Tigers.
I'm NJV at the White House. This is CNN.
Just off the outside edge.
Multiple outlets are reporting that Cash App founder Bob Lee, who was stabbed to death, they had an actual argument. CNN's Veronica Miracle.
Sharp grounder. That's through for a base hit.
Veronica, what more are we learning?
Man, those are the types of hits where you don't feel any vibration in your hands whatsoever. Such a good feeling. He put a great swing on that ball. Took the barrel right to it. Nice extension as well. 105 exit velocity. That tells you everything you need to know about that swing.
Giancarlo Stanton to the plate now.
The documents say that police did find a kitchen knife. They found
strike on the inside corner.
It also says that once the autopsy was conducted on Bob Lee, that he was stabbed 3 times, once in the hip and twice in the chest. One of those penetrating his heart, causing his death.
And the 0-1.
This document really paints the picture
and fouled
of all
off.
of the moments that led up to the stabbing, which appears to show that the victim and the suspect had been together.
Here's the 0-2.
For some time throughout the evening.
Liner caught it second.
The suspect's sister and Bob Lee appear to have had some kind of relationship. And there seems to be some kind of argument.
Jimmy Cosmo up now for the Tigers.
And still looking for that hit to keep this streak going. And this might be his last shot at it, Boo.
Here. And then it says that police were able to get surveillance video, and it shows
first pitch just misses.
And the victim, so Bob Lee and Momeni, in a car together, and the suspect drove Bob Lee to a dark location. They both got out of
right-hander kick steals.
Kind of
out front with the swing, and that is strike 1.
Well, there's a certain point where you have to commit to what you think you see, and he guessed wrong right there. Nasty slider with just terrific bite at the end.
Quickly, the suspect, while Bob Lee staggers off.
Here's a
So
1-1.
we're getting a much clearer picture of what happened, and it appears that the district attorney is arguing that there was an interpersonal dispute between Bob Lee and the suspect, Momeni.
2 balls, 2 strikes to count with 2 outs.
Absolutely.
For more than 4 years after it was originally grounded, Boeing says it's found a new issue with the 737 MAX. But the company says there's still space to fly. We'll have more details next.
2 outs. Fouls it back with 2 strikes. 2 gone. The possible go-ahead run at first.
CNN Central, Monday at 9 Eastern.
You know, Louisiana, that where have you been needed now made for me piece your home business. And at home is where you know you'll find it the first
and the
time,
pitch.
every time, for up to 50% less.
Spoils that one, and it remains 2-2.
Stores have decor for some. We're all about decor for all. Every room, every style, every season. And of course, every budget. It's all right here. All for less.
The pitch.
Every day. At home.
Puts it in the air out towards left center. And that will end the inning. Tigers leave 1. Score remains tied at 3.
In this competition, everyone has beef. Each week, it's a kitchen.
We're back in a new pitcher here to start the bottom of the 7th. Jose Cisnero. He's pitching on 2 days rest.
Super Show Grudge Match, Tuesday at 9 on Food Network. Let's talk a little politics.
Now it's the Marlins catcher, Nick Fortes.
He's a big, strong guy, can untie this game with 1 swing.
The pitch. Bounce to the left side.
We can't even do close right in this country.
Whips it to Casas, and 1 away in the bottom of the 7th.
The batter, number 6, second baseman,
Back to the top of the Miami order. And now for the Marlins, Ketel Marte.
partner on the series for years.
Excited to get into this knife fight?
I love you, but you are not serious people.
You're a snake.
I hate you. You understand.
And there's a strike.
For 9 seasons, Last Week Tonight has been hailed as brilliant, incisive, and
On the corner for a strike.
Well, he didn't like those first 2 pitches. Now in an 0-2 hole. He's going to have to battle. Hope he gets a mistake.
Our biggest. Boldest. Sex, unholy. Who wants sex? Most smartest season ever. We think, because we haven't made it yet. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
And the 0-2.
Interesting piece.
Fights it off. You'll see another.
Let me bring in my expert.
Sewing scratches.
Those are from my car keys.
Such a rich history. This won't do well at auction, but at AT&T, it's worth a brand new Samsung Galaxy S23.
Wait, really? What about this?
Struck him out looking. Called strike 3 on a fastball up in the zone.
Well, he's going to have some thinking to do when he leaves the ballpark after this one. That was his 3rd strikeout, and this one looking, obviously, so he's been a little overmatched. He's got to find a way just to be more competitive up there at the plate.
Trace Thompson, the next up for the Marlins. That one's in there, 0-1.
The food culture.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever been this excited to eat anything.
Gloria, searching for Mexico. Sundays at 9 on CNN.
Kicks and deals. Comes up empty. That's strike 2.
This guy's got such a good sinker. As a hitter, you've got to look up in the zone. If you look down, you're going to be chasing stuff in the dirt.
Next pitch, not close, up high.
0-2 fastball way out of the zone. I think he's trying to speed him up. Got to stay back. Off speed's probably coming.
The 1-2. Swings through it, and that's a strikeout. And the Marlins down quietly. Still tied 3-3.
As you step back for Boeing today, the company says it's going to reduce deliveries.
They hand the ball over to a new arm, Tanner Scott.
Big swing and miss stuff right here, Boo. Averaging more than 1 strikeout per inning this season. So far, he's been pretty electric.
Jackson Holiday up now for the Tigers.
And Bowie says this new issue did not impact safety.
The pitch.
Now.
Yeah, that's outside.
So Pete, what is the issue?
Well, Eric, you know, this is another bad look for Boeing as it struggles to deal with quality control and rebuild the reputation of the Max. Failures at Boeing and
here comes the pitch.
Inside each plant led to those crashes abroad, but this new issue is different. Boeing is really coming clean here about a defect in the manufacturing of the jet itself. The issue, Boeing says.
Fastball in the corner at the knees, and it's a strike.
No need to offer that pitch until you get to 2 strikes. It's just a low percentage of success when you want to try to go after that down and away pitch.
There are about 1,000 flying worldwide, more than 300 in the U.S. In a statement, Boeing says,
next offering is foul
back.
back.
This is not an immediate safety of flight issue, and the in-service fleet can continue operating safely. FAA was ultimately came down hard on Boeing after the investigations into those crashes.
Got him looking. That's a strikeout.
Says it has validated the
well, this is no secret. That slider is going to be his go-to pitch. Everyone in the ballpark knows it. It's a massive part of his arsenal, and he'll throw it a lot. And in pretty much any count, any situation, and he's going to look to punch guys out as well. I tell you what, the effectiveness of that slider is always a big key for him.
Yeah, the batter now, Tristan Casas. That one missing inside.
For their new airplanes to be delivered, and they would like to fix. United Airlines has about 100 more Maxes on order. It says no impact to travelers just yet. Eric?
All right, Pete Martin, always appreciate it. Thank you.
The lefty, the 1-0.
Well, happening now, unrest in Paris as protesters are flooding the streets after France's top court approves the controversial law that raises the retirement age. We'll take you there live next.
And there's a breaking ball that drops in there.
Nasty 2-0 slider there for a strike. That tells you he's got a lot of confidence in that pitch.
The smartest show of them all. weeknight with John Oliver returns with its biggest, most smartest season ever.
Strike two. And now it's filled up.
At this point in the game, you cannot issue free passes. He's going to have to challenge this hitter. Hitter's got to be ready to swing it.
Drew Jones waiting for a turn at the plate.
At AT&T, it's one of the brand new Samsung Galaxy S23.
What about this?
AT&T feels that.
Pulls it in for the out.
Galaxy S23 with the Galaxy phone ring and the air condition. What's it like to hear from the people actually living the headlines?
Looks like it'll be a pinch hitter. Matt Bierman looking for a two-out start with the bases empty.
I've got a lot of questions.
Wherever you get your podcasts. In this competition, everyone has beef. Each week, it's a kitchen cage match.
And that's too high.
Super Chef Notice with hands out fierce. All-new Super Chef Grudge Match, Tuesday at 9 on Food Network.
I'm Eva Longoria. I'm exploring Mexico to see how the people shaped a culinary tradition as diverse.
And it's 1-1.
Trying to keep good speed off the bases.
Searching for Mexico, Sundays at 9 on CNN.
The best songs from iHeartRadio is America's #1 hit music station.
The 1-1.
The biggest hits that everyone is talking about.
Swings here and blasts one left field. Gone! A solo shot. And just like that, they're out front. It's 4-3.
It's so tough to come in as a pinch hitter and have success. I mean, you really have to keep yourself locked into the game and ready at any time. So it's always impressive to me when someone jumps in there and hits it out. It's a huge lift for your ball club as well.
Jordan Walker up now for the Tigers. And the first pitch misses for ball one. Two down, nobody on.
Man, this guy's got a great feel for his breaking ball today.
Next offering is in for a strike.
Hive is a sustainable marketplace that helps you make a positive impact on the planet. Support fair trade while sipping on coffee.
Down the left field line, could be extra bases. And that rolls into the corner. Takes the turn. He's digging for second. He's there. It's a two-out double.
Well, the last 10 games or so have been anything but fun at the plate for him, so that one has to feel good. Nice line drive to the pull side right there, but he didn't spin off of it. That's the key. You still have to extend through the baseball in order to hit a line drive like that.
So up next, Santiago Espinal. Got to be careful with a slugger like this because he can turn it into a three-run game in the blink of an eye. He gets the intentional walk here and now will force at any base with two gone. So digging in, Riley Green.
Because you don't have home insurance through Hippo. Visit Hippo.com and upgrade your home insurance. This is CNN, World's News Network.
First pitch doesn't find the zone.
Well, this is a critical spot for both the pitcher and the hitter. You can learn a lot about a guy by how he handles these pressure situations.
The bill, which will raise the retirement age from 62 to 64, could be enacted.
Left-hand hitter waits.
That court decision is
that one is upstairs.
President Emmanuel Macron, but it is sparking yet more protests across the country. CNN's Fred Pleitgen joins us now from Paris. So what kind of reaction have you seen in response to this ruling earlier today, Fred?
And there's a
a lot
ball.
of anger, especially here on the streets.
Tyler Stevenson to bat next.
Just as the verdict from that constitutional council.
Walker, the lead runner at second. Espinal at first, 2 out of the inning.
There's still a lot of display of anger, but the crowds have dispersed a little bit.
Allen finds the corner. And now 3 balls and a strike.
The police stood out in full force. You have the police fans there behind us. You can see the police charge a couple of protesters.
And there's a foul ball.
Sort of a difficult night here in Paris so far. And in general, we have to say there are a lot of people here in France who are very angry at the fact the retirement age is going to be lifted, but they're also angry at the way.
Swing and a miss, and that is that. 2 men left stranded, but they do push across 1. Last half of the 8th coming up. Tigers 4 and the Marlins 3.
But they're all also a lot of young people who are doing those protests. So a lot of those young people are telling us that they want to continue to fight this bill with the kind of protests that we've been seeing here over the past couple of months, and especially over the past couple of days. Of course, several 100,000 people went on the street yesterday.
Staying in the game on defense, Matt Vierlin. He'll be out in center now after pinch hitting. New pitcher on now, Jordan Hicks.
And one thing on him, he's been really good this season in keeping the ball in the park. Not an easy guy to take deep.
It's just the way that Emmanuel Macron, they believe, has essentially done damage to democracy here.
1-run game, and at the plate for Miami, Alberto Zepeda. Corner infielders guarding the lines, trying to prevent extra bases. And a pitch. Outside.
Everyone here understands just how quickly things could change.
Activity in the bullpen.
After he was convicted, before the sentence, Addington was protected under the standard ground law.
Next offering misses, and that's ball 2.
Really been able to slow down the game tonight with his at-bats, and the biggest one he's had so far, he doesn't look anxious at all.
Tell us more about these new posts and really the impact that could have on his partner.
The tying run at the plate.
Well,
that one to first. Casas takes it himself, and a key out leading off the bottom of the 8th.
That's why you hug the lines on the corners late in a ball game like this, positioned perfectly.
Next to hit, Tyler O'Neill.
Among the posts that he wrote on June 1st, 2020 on Facebook, he wrote, "It is official. I am
swings through that one.
0-1. People acting like animals at the zoo." That same day, he also wrote, "Now it is my turn to get banned from Facebook by comparing the Black Lives Matter movement to a zoo full of monkeys."
He swings and hits a fly ball, center field. He's under it. Squeezes it, and there's 2 down.
For hunting Muslims in Europe and on and on.
C.J. Cron getting ready to hit.
And things could change quickly here with one swing.
Was not aware of these text messages, which were not introduced in trial before Abbott said that.
First offering misses the mark.
But it certainly is a shocking development, and obviously we'll have a political impact. And let's be honest here, this case had become a cause celeb.
Swung on, belted. That one back there.
Politics are very much at foot. Politics are very much relevant.
Yeah, politically at the top of the hour for the lead with Jake Tapper, and we want to bring you this breaking news just into CNN. Justice Daniel Alito has extended a hold on a lower court ruling.
Next offering misses down and away.
Now we've been waiting to hear from the Supreme Court. What does this mean now, Justice? This basically means that we're on hold.
3-1 is on the way. To the right side, and that chance handled. Over to first, inning over. Nothing doing for the Marlins. Score holds at 4-3.
So all of these changes to the abortion pill would not go into effect overnight tonight. So the Supreme Court is saying yes.
So they bring on the veteran, J.T. Shagwell, on for the 30th time this year.
And Justice Alito is also asking the parties to file additional briefs if necessary. So what this does is this doesn't settle any.
And now the catcher comes up to him, Tyler Stevenson.
This basically just puts on
Shagwell
pause
in his
what
7th
might
season,
have gone into
34-year-old
effect
vet,
overnight
and
tonight.
he was a
So really,
second-round
this
pick
whole thing is
back
gonna
in
play out
2012.
again, in just
The
a few days
pitch.
when we're once again
And that's in there at the knees.
Some guys are just more confident if they can track
This
that
is an
first pitch
administrative
out of the hand of the
stay,
pitcher.
a
They don't care if they fall
stay,
behind
right,
0-1.
until the Supreme Court gets more briefings from the parties and further decides how to act here. But the takeaway from all of this is that mifepristone is still available in the
And now
same
the
form
0-1.
it was just a week ago.
And strike 2.
Mailers tweeted to it. It is status quo for how it's been for the past several years. Women can get this pill. They can get up to 10 weeks of pregnancy. They can also
0-2 now. That one just misses.
Too close for me, partner, to take that 0-2 fastball, but for whatever reasons, he let it go by. He's still in the at-bat. I don't think he'll let the next one go.
There's been a lot of back and forth, a lot of confusion. The Justice Department
on the ground, right side, and he takes it himself for the out.
Good sinker low in the zone right there and produced exactly what he was looking for. Ball on the ground, nice ground out.
Now here's Giancarlo Stanton.
A 5-day victory for the DOJ to keep things at status quo. What do we expect to hear come Wednesday? Is there anything left for either side to file or to petition before we hear from the Supreme Court once again?
There might be the
and that's in there for strike 1. Miami's bullpen with some action. A.J. Puck, the closer, is getting loose.
The parties here, DOJ, the drug manufacturer as well, and maybe even the doctors who brought this case, they might file additional filings with the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court at that point will decide.
Crowd locked in right now. 1-run game here in the ninth.
While these appeals play out in the Fifth Circuit, what's interesting is the Fifth Circuit has already set a
chop to third. Cepeda. And this ball is going to wind up out of play.
No problem fielding that one, and the transfer looked good, but man, he sailed it across the diamond and out of play. It looked like he just tried to put too much behind it, cost him an extra base too.
On pause for likely weeks, if not months. So, yeah,
one down. Jimmy Cosmo up now for the Tigers. And this is very likely the last chance he gets to keep his hitting streak alive. Sliced hard but foul. And a little something extra at stake in this at-bat as he's hitless so far with his hitting streak in jeopardy.
Because of the drug, right, and because of the access that it's had, but also because of the fact that this ruling just a week ago
righty to the plate,
in Texas,
out front and foul to the left side.
This drug was approved in the year 2000, and there has been a fair amount of data since then in terms of feedback about the impact on women and how safe it is. So this is also a major focus because it's
bounce
going
to the right and foul
the
ball.
Absolutely. This is, it is as far-reaching beyond abortion access to the FDA's approval for any new and existing drugs. So what's going to happen here?
Goes down swinging for the strikeout. Guessed it right by him.
Third time he struck out in this one, and definitely an individual performance you want to flush. He just hasn't looked very comfortable up there. Just one of those days. But when you're still winning the ball game, at least you can focus on doing your part to maintain that lead and getting that W.
Jackson Holiday up now for the Tigers.
Plus, also today, more than 20 states.
And the first pitch misses for ball 1.
Pause in this litigation has already filed at the Supreme Court too. So I imagine we'll get a rush of filings by Tuesday, and this temporary pause is just until Wednesday. So that gives the justices a chance to actually read up on
batter waits.
What
that's a slider for a strike.
This is a set of justices that just 10 months ago had overturned constitutional abortion rights nationwide and sent it back to the states. But as you said, Erica, this is a whole different kind of battle over the authority of the Food and Drug Administration
to
review and approve drugs. In this case, obviously, the first pill of a two-drug abortion medication protocol. And what's at issue right now,
one-run game here in the top of the ninth.
Not the core approval of that drug. That looks like, at least the lower court said that was done.
Next pitch is outside. Tristan Casas up next for the Tigers.
More the availability. May women get this through the mail, or must they have to go in person? What's the window of availability? 7 weeks versus 10 weeks. But all of that.
Swing and a miss, and it's a full count now.
Just like 5 minutes ago, has now dissolve for at least 5 more days. Everything would have gone into effect for the lower court decision against the FDA approval at midnight Texas time, 1 a.m. Saturday.
And the righty deals. And ball 4, 2 aboard.
Oh, you know this guy wants to swing it, but he's showing some good patience in this one. It's the second time he's taken ball 4.
So here comes Ryan Presley to the mound.
Well, you see the ERA very solid, and that doesn't always tell you the whole story, but he's been really good so far this year.
So 2 on with 2 away. Tristan Casas will hit next. So RBI spot, but Chris, this is a guy that is not really swinging the bat all that well here.
In this situation, you have a real good opportunity to get swings and misses and record a strikeout. I think you attack him in this spot.
In there for strike 1.
The legal question we keep hearing is that the plaintiffs, there's a question about what legal standing they had to even file this lawsuit. Given all of that, are you
swing and a miss as he was late?
Man, I'm pretty impressed out there on the mound right now. I mean, these are tough spots where pitchers really got to bear down. Those last 2 pitches were well executed.
Just Samuel Lino, who obviously didn't
gonna count 1 and 2.
But I'm sure he was getting signals from his colleagues that this is what they needed to do at this point. The reason it went to Justice Alito, just so we make clear, is that he is in charge of the
and a ball evens the count.
5th Circuit, which is the regional circuit that actually handled the lower court case. So this was the prudent thing to do.
Next pitch way upstairs. Matt Vierling would be next if they can extend the inning.
And he's homered already, so I'm sure he'd love a chance to do some more damage here.
Suddenly, as I said,
so now 3 and 2 stays alive.
A whole different kind of case that is, is unprecedented in terms
Stanton
of
over at second. Holiday on at first with 2 down.
Essentially putting himself in the shoes of the regulators to say that
that's foul off to the right side, keeps the AB going.
Medical findings and scientific determination that he can assess on his own the safety and effectiveness of Mr. Christone. And
2 on, 2 outs. Hit hard on the ground is short. Sends it across the first. 3rd out. That ends the frame. 2 left on. 6, 7, 8 scheduled to start the bottom of the 9th. Tigers 4 and the Marlins 3.
Legal standing that's a very key question here that I'm sure the justices will want to take on.
Welcome back, and here comes the closer, Alex Lang.
And compared to a lot of other relievers, strikeouts have not been a big weapon for him this year, so the defense should be active.
Here's the shortstop at the plate, Jazz Chisholm Jr. The pitch. And that drops in for a strike.
You know, this guy's great speed is in the back of that pitcher's mind. If he can get on, it's going to give him one more thing he's got to think about.
That hit him. And the leadoff man is aboard to start the inning.
Well, now the best way to make them feel the pain is scoring from first. Look for a good secondary lead and an excellent jump when the ball's in play. If you're a base runner, you've got to stay dialed in here. Look for anything in the dirt. Try your best to get into scoring position.
Lang keeping him close. With a single base runner, because of all the power, they are dangerous to tie this thing up or take the lead. And that one fouled off.
We're all about the core for all. Every room, every style, every season. And of course, every budget. It's all right here. All for less. Every day.
Kicks and fires. Breaking ball through there for a strike.
I'm exploring Mexico to see how the people shaped a culinary tradition as diverse as its 32 states.
Squirts away a little bit, and the runner stays where he is. And here comes. Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout. Here's the center fielder, Mike Yastrzemski.
Going with pretty good speed over there at first base. I think the pitcher's got to slow everything down. Hold the ball a little bit, step off. Just try to break the rhythm and timing of a potential base stealer.
Lang checks the runner. Chisholm dives back in safely. And he swings and misses at the initial offering. Ground ball up the middle, into the outfield, base hit. And now the winning run is on base. To third, not in time. And it's runners at the corners with one gone.
No, that at bat had a lot riding on it. Certainly a pivotal swing of the bat in this ball game. Timing on the swing was good, able to shoot the ball up the middle. Didn't square it up as much as he probably would have liked, but that's a good approach paying off. A chance now to even the score and maybe extend this game.
And now Nick Fortes. First offering, and it just misses.
Well, comfortable or not, these are the situations closers they seem to live for. And you get into some hot water, a jam, tough spot, whatever you want to call it. But this is where they earn their keep.
A 1-0. That one missed.
I think ultimately you want to tie him up, get the ball in on the plate so that he can't get the barrel to it and hit it to the outfield.
Line drive, that's a base hit. The tying run is in to score from third. And they've tied it in the bottom of the ninth. In there, he's safe.
Huge moment for him and his team, Boog. You know, some guys just grip it a bit too tight in a big spot like this, having a chance to tie it up in the bottom of the ninth. But he didn't let the moment get to him. Thumbs up for the RBI knock, and now he's giving his teammates a chance to walk this thing off with a win if they can push across another run.
Now, Ketel Marte.
I'm about to turn 50, and people absolutely can't believe it. Look at the difference on throats, forehead lines, and even necklines. I can honestly say my skin looks better today than it did 5 years ago. That's a great feeling.
At the belt and fires.
For free shipping
that misses, and now 2-0.
When the skipper calls down to the bullpen, he's expecting the guy to come in and get outs. So far, not getting what he was hoping for.
The 2-0 is in for a strike.
Just amazing to me how many closers and back-end relievers just throw absolute gas these days. I never would have had a chance.
They say you win. Next pitch downstairs, and it's a full count. Trace Thompson waits on deck for Miami.
Breaking news just minutes ago, the U.S. Supreme Court gave a pause.
That's to third. Oh, he throws it away. The winning run crosses the plate, and the Marlins walk it off 5-4.
Well, coming to the ninth inning down, first you're looking to tie it. They did that, but then they got the extra to put themselves on top. These guys knew exactly what it was going to take to win this ball game. I love it when you see guys find a way to win, and that's what they did today.
We're going to start this in just with a minute. Just this thing got just minutes ago. Tell us more about the ruling, and this is in the end of the fight, right? Still making a decision.
This is not the ending, but it's right. It's really keeps us on pause for the next 5 days. I mean, you can see it's a very short order here.
Close one here today, and your final 5-4. For Chris Singleton and our entire crew, I'm John Shambi saying so long.
What the DOJ and FDA was asking for here. They were saying, if you can't give us anything else, give us an administrative stay, which basically puts a very brief pause on any of the changes that the Fifth Circuit had ordered. So what does this mean practically? Well, this means that full access to Mr. Cristone remains. It remains just like it did before that Texas judge ruled 1 week ago. Because the concern was that if the Supreme Court did not do what it just did moments ago, that overnight tonight, 1 a.m. Eastern time, there was concern that all of the rules surrounding the divorce control of Mr. Cristone would have to be changed. That would mean that doctors would be instructed not to allow women to take this past 7 weeks of pregnancy, right now it's at 10 weeks of pregnancy. They were also concerned that they make them change the rules about telemedicine and getting this drug in the mail. For now, none of those rules are changing as we feared, and things will remain the same. However, this is a very short window of relief for the DOJ and the FDA. The Supreme Court is saying that as of 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday, this stay will expire. So presumably, sometime on Wednesday, we will once again be waiting for the Supreme Court to weigh into this and to see if there's a longer stay put on this. The appeals process is already moving forward in the Fifth Circuit. The Fifth Circuit has already set a very aggressive briefing schedule. They've already set oral arguments for May 17th. So things are moving along at the appeals level because, remember, this is just about pausing what the Fifth Circuit put into effect. The Supreme Court is doing that. There will be no changes. But, Jake, as you mentioned, this legal battle continues to play out. And once again, on Wednesday, all day, we'll probably be on pins and needles again, much like we were today, waiting for the Supreme Court to once again weigh in and see if they'll continue to put these rules or these changes once again on hold. Jake?
All right, Jessica Schneider with the breaking news. Thanks. Let's bring in CNN Senior Supreme Court Analyst Joan Biskupic, along with Tom Dupree, who's a former Principal Deputy Attorney General in the George W. Bush administration. Joan, help us better understand what Justice Alito did here, and also whether or not it's still possible that this conservative U.S. Supreme Court will ultimately make a decision to ban mifepristone, which is a legal drug the FDA approved 2 decades ago, whether or not it's still possible that they will ban it nationally.
Yeah. Jake, what they did was actually, what Justice Alito did was actually very sensible, just putting this pause in place. Think of how fast-moving everything has been in the past 7 days. There are conflicting lower court decisions out there that the Justice Department had said caused regulatory chaos. The courts down in Texas had said that the FDA had to decrease the availability of the drug. Meanwhile, a judge in Washington State had said that no, the FDA could not alter access for women to this drug. So there's just been so much happening in the past 7 days. And what the Justice Alito has said is, we're going to pause this for 5 days. The original challengers, the anti-abortion physicians and medical associations, will now respond to the Department of Justice and drug manufacturers' requests that a longer stay be put in place while appeals are actually heard. They're going to be able to respond by Tuesday noon to make their case for why actually the drug should not be as available. But you're absolutely right that this action today does not foreshadow which way they're going to go. Now, you know that I think this is a very different case than what the justices did last June when they completely eviscerated constitutional abortion rights and put the matter in the hands of the states. I think given the nature of the FDA's authority and expertise here, they could eventually side with the FDA. But what you're saying is also a possibility. They could, at the end of everything, after hearing arguments or seeing what the Fifth Circuit does, could agree that the FDA overstepped its authority and maybe even completely was wrong when it approved and endorsed the safety and effectiveness of this drug.
Tom, is that possible, do you think, ultimately the U.S. Supreme Court, and I can only think of 3 votes that are guaranteed to say that the FDA was right and has a right to allow access to mifepristone? I can only think of 3 of the 9. Is it possible the U.S. Supreme Court will ultimately rule that this ban should be national?
It's very possible, Jake. Look, what makes this case particularly complex is that on one hand, yes, obviously it's an abortion case, and you all know the way the current Supreme Court splits on questions of abortion. We saw the voting lineup in the Dobbs case from last year. But at the same time, this case is more complex.
We're losing your volume. You're losing your sound there. Let's go back to Joan while Tom Dupree figures out his audio. Joan, what is the case here? I mean, my understanding is that mifepristone is safer than other drugs that the FDA has approved, like penicillin, like Viagra. Is there a safety issue here that scientists and doctors seriously acknowledge is a problem? Or is this because, is this on theological grounds? The judge is religiously opposed to abortion and looking for a way to bring his religious views to the law?
Well, that's a very real concern. And what the federal government and the drug maker have said is that, look, these scientific determinations are long-standing. The studies are deep, it is not a dangerous drug, and that has been shown over time. What the judge in this case, Matthew Kaczmarek, a 2019 appointee of Donald Trump, who, as you're suggesting, did have a background in anti-abortion advocacy, he reevaluated everything. He went and looked at his own studies, his own field of evidence to make his determination that this drug is not safe and that it really harms women and that it hurts the physicians that brought the case, because what he has asserted in his opinion is that they end up having to care for women where these medication abortions have gone wrong. And what the Department of Justice has said is this is baloney. They use better legal terms, but basically what they said is that he has no real evidence for finding this, and furthermore, what they say is it's unprecedented for a federal district court judge to try to put himself in the shoes of the agency where the expertise resides. So I can see indeed why many people would be challenging that, and that's why I actually think in the end, and in the abortion context now, any kind of predictions are really fraught in so many ways, but I think that there's so much at stake in terms of the power of the Food and Drug Administration to use its knowledge and its experience to assess all sorts of drugs, not just mifepristone, but any existing and new drugs for the marketplace.
Yeah, but Joan, let me just ask you, playing devil's advocate here. Okay, we have the three left-leaning judges, Ketanji Brown Jackson, and Sotomayor, and Kagan. They will vote to keep mifepristone on the market. You can argue maybe Chief Justice Roberts, who was trying to propose this, for want of a better term, middle path of a 15-week abortion ban being okay, but nothing before that. But where's the fifth vote, Joan? Where's the fifth vote for mifepristone to be legal?
Yeah, I hate to be put on the spot depending where the Supreme Court's going to go, but let's just use it as an example what Justice Brett Kavanaugh, who was with the majority in the Dobbs decision back in June that, as I said, completely gutted constitutional abortion rights, what he wrote separately in a concurrence, and I know you're well aware of this, Jake, what he wrote was that we are definitely not trying to outlaw abortion nationwide. He said that. He said we are leaving it to the states. Judges should not be in position, and these were words he used, judges should not be making policy and moral decisions. And that's what Judge Kaczmarek has done in some ways. He took on the responsibility as a decision maker. And, Brett Kavanaugh, just again, I'll play along with your devil's advocacy here. Brett Kavanaugh may be someone who would give a vote to say, no, we're in a whole different scheme here because, bottom line, if you diminish or completely eliminate access to this medication abortion drug, you are making it almost impossible then down the road to have abortions in the states that currently have it legalized, because, as you know, medication abortion is now the dominant means for women to end their pregnancies. So that's
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But you're saying you're it's theoretical,
yes,
of course.
Everything's theoretical.
But Justice Kavanaugh would not take an action that would contradict something he has said before. And I'm wondering if Senator Susan Collins, among other people, might think that they don't know that Kavanaugh can be counted on to be consistent like that based on things he said before he was confirmed. But it's all theoretical. Joan, thanks so much.
Your point is well taken, James.
All right. I'm just what Susan Collins might say. I'm just, I'm channeling her. Thank you so much, Joan Buscupa. Coming up, the alleged leaker of some secret U.S. documents makes his first court appearance and is charged with violating the Federal Espionage Act. New details unveiled in court documents today.
You know when you see it, that where have you been needed now made for me piece your home's been missing. And at home is where you know you'll find it the first time, every time, for up to 50% less than the other guy's price. Because while a lot of stores have decor for some, we're all about decor for all. Every room, every style, every season. And of course, every budget. It's all right here, all for less. Every day. At home, decor for all for less. From exclusive styles at everyone prices to one-of-a-kind designer looks, you'll find it all here. At home, the first time, every time. Every room, every style, every season, and every budget. Every day. At home, decor for all for less.
Let's talk a little politics. Who won the last election? I did not just that. If we don't have free speech, we have nothing. I know you want us to live in this world of rational thinking. Good luck with that.
The right has gone off the deep end, the left has gone off the deep end.
We're about to have different opinions. We can't even do coups right in this country. It's insane. Let's get America rehinged. We're cut out. Let's blow it up. You are not serious people.
I want to hear the opposition. Cut that throat. We are pirates!
Whenever heartburn strikes, get fast relief with Tums. It's time to love food back.
What's it like to hear from the people actually living the headlines? I'm Audie Cornish. My new CNN podcast talks to the people behind the trending stories. I've got a lot of questions.
Get started with Audie Cornish. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.
In this competition, everyone has beef.
Each week, it's a kitchen cage match. Hosted by Darnell's Super Chef Ferguson.
The blood stops here.
All new Super Chef Grudge Match, Tuesday at 9 on Food Network.
The best songs from iHeartRadio is America's #1 hit music station, Hit Nation. The biggest hits that everyone is talking about. It's Lizzo.
Harry Styles.
Always entertaining for free. Hit Nation on iHeartRadio. Download the app today.
You know what brings people to Mexico? The food culture.
Wow. I don't know if I've ever been this excited to eat anything.
Gloria, Searching for Mexico. Sundays at 9 on CNN.
That massive leak of classified U.S. documents tops our world lead today. Jack Teixeira, a relatively low-ranking 21-year-old airman for the Massachusetts Air National Guard, was in court in Boston today. Teixeira is facing 2 charges, including one for violation of the Espionage Act. This is over his unauthorized retention and transmission of national defense information, allegedly. He was arrested yesterday. The leaks have already strained relationships with U.S. allies and jeopardized access to crucial information that gave the U.S. government insight into Russia's moves in Ukraine. Despite all this, an official tells CNN that Teixeira underwent, quote, a very rigorous background check and held a top-secret security clearance since 2021. CNN's Jason Carroll is outside the courthouse in Boston for us, where we heard from Teixeira's family today.
Jack Teixeira's family leaving federal court in Boston Friday afternoon, refusing to answer any questions. 21-year-old Massachusetts Air National Guardsman made his first appearance in front of a federal judge today. He's now charged with unauthorized retention and transmission of national defense information and unauthorized removal and retention of classified documents and or material. An unsealed affidavit shows that Teixeira was granted top-secret security clearance back in 2021 and had access to highly classified programs. The affidavit alleges he began posting classified documents starting in 2022, and then recently, on April 6th, used a government computer to search a database using the word leak once it was publicly revealed that someone was leaking classified documents.
This is not just about taking home documents. People who sign agreements to be able to receive classified documents acknowledge the importance to the national security.
Entered the Air National Guard in September of 2019 and was recently promoted to the rank of Airman First Class. According to official U.S. sources, Teixeira is believed to be the leader of a small group on the social media platform Discord, a site popular with video gamers and where the classified documents had been posted. The leaked classified documents included a wide range of highly classified information, including eavesdropping on key allies and adversaries and blunt assessments of the state of the Ukraine war. Investigators ultimately narrowed in on the chat group. According to a U.S. government source familiar with the case, Teixeira was under surveillance